Welcome to Maple Leaf Numismatics. Today, we're looking at the fascinating history of Canada's 25-cent coin, commonly known as the quarter. This coin not only represents a significant denomination in Canadian currency, but also carries a rich heritage that collectors cherish. From its inception in 1870 to the rare varieties sought after today, join us as we explore its remarkable journey. The story of the 25-cent coin begins with the formation of the Dominion of Canada in 1867. As the nation established its identity, the central government took on the crucial role of standardizing currency across the provinces. In 1870, the first 25-cent coins were minted, marking a pivotal moment in Canada's numismatic history. Under Queen Victoria's reign, the quarter was first issued. These coins were made of sterling silver, containing 92.5% silver and 7.5% copper, giving them a distinctive sheen. Each coin weighed 5.81 grams and had a diameter of 23.62 millimeters, featuring a reeded edge for better handling. The obverse design, crafted by Leonard Charles Wyon, showcases Queen Victoria in a laurel wreath, symbolizing peace and victory. The reverse displays a crown atop two boughs of maple leaves, representing Canada's identity. Among the coins minted during this period, the 1875 H variety stands out. Its unique die mark has made it a collector's treasure, with prices soaring to $81,000 at auction for top-grade specimens. The rarity and historical significance of this coin illustrate the value that early Canadian coins hold in today's market. Following Queen Victoria's death, King Edward VII's ascension in 1901 brought new designs to Canadian coins. The quarters from 1902 to 1910 maintain the same composition, crafted by the Royal Mint in London and designed by George William de Saulles. These coins feature Edward VII in a dignified profile, surrounded by the inscription Edward's 7-day Gratia Rex Imperator. The reverse design remained consistent, reflecting continuity in Canadian coinage. Collectors pay particular attention to the 1906 quarters, which exist in two notable varieties, the large crown and the small crown. The large crown variety is characterized by a pronounced dimple on the right side of the velvet cap and narrower gaps between the crown and adjacent leaves. It also has a smaller line above the date. This variety is sought after, often reaching auction prices of around $6,000 for well-preserved specimens. On the other hand, the small crown variety features no dimple in the velvet cap and wider gaps between the sides of the crown and the adjacent leaves. The small crown also has a longer line above the date. This variety is particularly coveted, with auction prices exceeding $51,000, making it a highly sought-after piece for numismatists. With the reign of King George V starting in 1910, the Royal Canadian Mint produced new designs for the quarter. The obverse featured the artist Sir Edgar Bertram Mackenel's portrayal of the king, a departure from previous designs as it was the first time an artist outside the mint created the royal portrait. However, the 1911 quarter is especially noteworthy as it was part of the controversial Godless series, an error where the Latin phrase Dei Gratia was omitted. This led to public outcry, and subsequent issues quickly reverted to the traditional inscription. Additionally, the 1915 quarter is a key piece from this era. Its design reflects the craftsmanship of the time. In almost uncirculated condition, it can command around $1,500. In mint state, it may exceed $23,000. In 1920, the composition of the quarter changed due to the rising cost of silver. The new formula consisted of 80% silver and 20% copper, a transition that would last until 1967. This adjustment was crucial for maintaining production during economically challenging times. Despite the change, the weight remained the same at 5.83 grams, and the design continued to reflect the royal themes familiar to collectors. The 1920 quarter is often sought after, as it represents a critical point in Canada's numismatic history. The reign of King George VI began in 1936, and with it came another design change. The reverse of the quarter featured a striking caribou head, designed by Emmanuel Hahn, a choice that resonated with Canadians and symbolized the country's natural heritage. During this era, The 1947 quarter is particularly notable, featuring three variations: the plain 1947, the 1947 maple leaf, and the extremely rare 1947 dot. The dot quarter, marked by a small dot behind the 7 in the date, is highly prized and can command prices exceeding $4,000 depending on its condition. Following the death of George VI, Queen Elizabeth II ascended the throne, and her portrait began to appear on the 25-cent coin starting in 1953. Designed by Mary Gillick, the obverse features the bust of the young queen wearing a laurel wreath, while the reverse, designed by Emmanuel Hahn, displays the iconic caribou head. As the years went on, the design evolved. Starting in 1965, the coins featured a more mature image of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This portrait continued until 1989. In 1967, Canada celebrated its centennial, and a special series of commemorative coins was released, including the 25-cent piece. The reverse design showcased a wildcat, designed by artist Alex Colville, symbolizing the spirit of Canada. The obverse featured the tiara-wearing Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. Importantly, the 1967 quarter exists in both a 50% silver version and an 80% silver version, weighing 5.83 grams. The circulation mintage reached nearly 49 million, making it relatively accessible to collectors. In 1968, a major shift occurred in the composition of Canadian coins. Due to rising silver prices, the government stopped using silver in most circulation coins. Initially, quarters were minted to 50% silver, but shifted to 100% nickel coins by the end of that year. The 100% nickel coins now weighed 5.07 grams. In 1990, a new design for the obverse was introduced, marking a significant milestone in Canadian coinage. This third portrait of Queen Elizabeth II was the first to be designed by a Canadian, commissioned from Toronto artist Dora de Pettery-Hunt. Her portrait depicts the Queen facing right, adorned with teardrop earrings and a diamond necklace originally made for Queen Victoria. The diamonds in the necklace weigh an impressive 161 carats, and the Queen also wears a diamond crown designed for King George IV, decorated with the floral emblems of the United Kingdom: roses, a shamrock, and thistle. This change in design was not only a reflection of the Queen's maturity, but also a celebration of Canadian artistry in numismatics. From 1968 to 1999, the quarter continued to be minted in a nickel composition, eventually transitioning to copper-plated steel starting in 2000. This made the coins magnetic and reduced their weight to 4.4 grams. The obverse continued to feature Elizabeth II, but with a new design by Susanna Blunt was introduced in 2003. The reverse retained the caribou, still designed by Emmanuel Hahn. One of the most intriguing coins from this era is the 2000 community quarter. During a change in production techniques, some planchets were mistakenly stamped with an obverse die meant for plated coins, resulting in a rare mule coin marked with AP below the Queen's effigy. This coin has no denomination indicated and is highly collectible, with auction prices reaching as high as $19,120 for top-grade specimens. Only a few of these P-marked quarters are known to exist, making them a treasure for collectors. In 2022, following the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, Charles ascended to the throne, becoming King Charles III. This marked a significant moment in Canadian numismatics, as it led to the introduction of his effigy on the obverse of Canadian coins, continuing the tradition of featuring the reigning monarch. On November 14, 2023, a special ceremony was held at the Royal Canadian Mint's manufacturing facility in Winnipeg to unveil the effigy of King Charles III. The event took place on the King's 75th birthday and included the first strike of new circulation coins bearing his portrait. The obverse of the 2023 25-cent coin now features King Charles III, marking the first time his likeness appears on Canadian currency. The issuance of these coins signifies not just a change in the monarchy but a continuity of Canadian identity through its coinage. From Queen Victoria to King Charles III, the Canadian 25-cent coin has evolved in design and composition while capturing significant moments in our nation's history. Whether you're a collector or just curious about what might be in your pocket change, Understanding these coins can lead to fascinating discoveries. Thank you for joining us at Maple Leaf Numismatics. We hope you found this informative.